Testing, testing, testing. Hey everybody, how are you? Maybe we can get them to turn this up a little bit in the back. Testing. Can they turn up this a little bit? Who's in charge of the speaker back there? Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. That's great. Wow, what a great crowd. Right off the bat, just know this. I really love you guys. I really do. You're such beautiful people. Just know that, okay? All right? I just want you to know that when we did the lecture last night, we made a decision that if you're around on Monday, I'm going to do a training all day Monday. It's going to start at, doors open up at 9:30 and we're going to go until 5 o'clock. And I'm going to try to teach you as much as I can teach you before I leave here. Okay? Michelle, do you want to come up and tell everybody, please, where it is? And so if you want to come, please let Michelle know. And, you know, if you guys want to start your own Aussie channel, I would come on once a month just with people in Australia. And come on once a month and do like a 2-hour thing where we can answer questions or things that are going on if you want. Test, test. I don't know if it's on.
Testing.
There.
Hello.
So where is the training going to be on Monday?
On Monday, training is going to be at Belgrave South.
Belgrave South?
So
Yep.
We had to change the venue because too many people got bogged.
Got what? Bogged?
Bogged.
Constipated?
No. Well, that's
Jammed up.
So it's going to be in Gilmore Avenue, next to the Belgrave South Primary School, only 30-second drive, or sorry, 2-minute drive, depends on how fast you go, from last night, and that's where it's going to be.
How many people can it hold?
Well, we said about 40.
40.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just stack them. We'll stack them.
How's that going to go?
Well, you'll enjoy it.
Maybe.
We'll stack them.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay. So, you know, I thought I would call this lecture Taking Massive Personal Action. So I want to start it off like this, but what I really want to do is I have a mic here, and I want people to come up and ask me questions. I don't want to talk all night. If you watched last night, I just ranted all night, right? Okay? Lori upset me. So, yeah. But I would like people to come up and ask me questions and personal things tonight, and then we'll do some work on some people. But I just want to tell you this, that they've been strategizing for 150,000 years. And whether you believe this or not, all the stories that you think you know about government and the world, there's a government inside of a government, and believe it or not, and you already know this, but you need to take this to heart, that they feed off your suffering. So the more that we suffer, the stronger they get, okay? And the more that we suffer, the weaker we become, and the stronger they get. I mean, they will tell us to do the most dumbest shit in the world, and we'll do it. You know, understand something. You know, we have been programmed, okay, to be harvested, just like the cattle, okay? All right? And I got to understand this, that, you know, they're all related, and it goes back 150,000 years. I'm not going to get into that, but you've never really done your homework, most of you. There might be one person in here that has ever gone and done their real research to really understand that they were given the keys, okay, to the finances of this planet at the very beginning. And they are our jailers. And I don't want to get into it because a lot of you won't believe it, but all the royals, no. I'll do it on a Zoom call. You know what? I usually get on TikTok for one day and then I'm kicked off. And it just keeps going like this. I'm trying to see if I can make it 3 days. Right, hon? Yeah. So I want a hat trick at least, okay? But I will tell you this, that, listen to me, you are not stupid. You are not dumb, okay? Everything they've ever tried to do, you have to understand something. Why do you think they have you go to school right away? I mean, at 5 years old, because at 5 years old, you're starting to find your authentic self, and they've got to deprogram you right away, okay? Listen to it. There's 8 billion of us, okay? There might be 250,000 of them. But they strategize, and they don't even like each other, but at least they come together for meetings and decide on how they're going to harvest us. And we fall for it. You understand? Think about this. It's so crazy that you can't get the chlorine and fluoride out of the water. You know, you can't get good food into your house. Seriously? Yes, you can. You know what? You've all been programmed to have no value or very little value. And this is why you treat yourself like this. Like, I got here tonight and 3 people are complaining about the medical system. What's wrong with you? Are you psycho? We need to fix them? You can't fix them. They're doing their job. They're doing a great job. Okay? They deliver mustard gas, which is chemotherapy. They do radiation. All their drugs are made out of petroleum. Okay? It was created by the Rockefellers that signed a blood pact with an evil entity on this planet. And that was generations ago. You don't even know how far back that goes. It would shock you. Wake up. We're not going to get into this. I'm going to get away from this tonight because I don't want to do this. But I just want you to know something. It's not going to get better until you ignore them. Until you have unconditional love for yourself and you stop complaining and explaining. You know what? It's like this. They called a war and nobody showed up. We went to scare them and they weren't scared anymore. Just think about how scared you've been in the last 3 years. Seriously. And you know what you got to do? You got to take this personal and go, okay, what do I need to do to feel free? There's nobody coming to save you. You know what I do? I just save each moment. The present moment is all you can experience. So every present moment, you want to live it with a smile, connected to your breath. Every bit of pain and suffering you have, okay, is all because you do not recognize your beauty. You actually think somebody's stronger than you, more powerful than you. There is no authority over me. Do you know how many authoritative people are watching this tonight? True. I'm a #1 hit target in Canada. Is that true? Yeah. The CBC, which is owned by the government, spent around $250,000 to do a hit piece on me to finish me off this year. Yeah. Good luck. Let me tell you something. That'll never happen. I will live one more day as a BraveHeart if I need to, and that's all that's left. I will not live like 99% of the population scared. Because every time that you get scared and you get fearful, you do dumb things. You actually drink and eat and do things at the vibration that you feel. And you actually don't feel your way through life. You think your way through life, but you can't think your way through life anymore because you went to school from 5 until how long? You've been programmed. My God, you got done school. You didn't know how to love yourself, didn't know how to love another human being, didn't know how to feed yourself, didn't know how to feed another human being, but then you went and had children. What a dumbass thing to do. Really, I'm serious. You know what? I tell you right now, no adult should have children. You know, maybe young teenagers should have children, but then we need to protect them, don't we? Because guess what? We're miserable already by the time we're adults because it's called adulteration. And then by the time you start to wake up, they're almost grown up and then they hate you. Because you said you were going to give them unconditional love and then you gave them conditional love, but you only gave yourself conditional love all your life. And you never ever felt loved unless somebody else was loving you. I don't count on Lori to love me. But I know she always will. Because guess why? Because I don't make her into one big nipple and suck off of her. I make sure that oh yeah, you're going to be okay? Is that what's going on in your relationship? Some people can relate to this. Let me tell you something. We suck off each other, don't we? And understand something. A lot of us will actually, will do anything for love, won't we? We'll compromise ourselves, what we eat, what we drink, what we think, how we act. Won't we? Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe in the God that most of you do. I don't believe in anything that most of you do. Actually, I believe in nothing most of you do. And I never will, but I love you. But I can't. I can't do that. Okay? Everything that you believe, and even the oldest books, okay? Oh, this was never touched. This was written by the hands of God. Really? Oh, we're going to believe that one. Are you like out of your skull? Seriously? I don't want to get into this too much. See, I get into this much. People are going, I don't know if I really want to be here. You know? The reality is everybody's saying, I want different. And then when they start to get different, you don't understand that your subconscious doesn't work for you. You are only as wealthy as you are the beliefs that's in your mind. You're only as healthy as the beliefs that are in your mind. You're only as sick as the beliefs in your mind. You're as only as fat as the beliefs in your mind. You're only as skinny, okay? Everything, the clothes you wear, where you live, who you're with, what you're doing is because of your personality that isn't yours. You think your personality is yours. It's not. I change my personality all the time, don't I, honey? And it changes all the time, you know, okay? I used to be scared to say that, you know what, I'd rather live just one day being me than live another 100 years being something else. And now I can say it. I can say it. And you know what? They're not even after me, you know, because it's too much work. These psychos are lazy. They're lazy asses. They're after the low-hanging fruit. They're after the sick people, the exhausted people, the people that are, big, beautiful, and bold. You know, they're after them. Let me tell you something, and understand something. Think about it. 84% of the population is obese right now. Did you know obesity is 10 pounds overweight? Did you know they changed it to 40 to make everybody comfortable? How comfortable are you? The reality is this, okay? Guess what? We have to honor ourselves. If you don't want to honor, respect, and love yourself, and then people don't even know what that is. You know, every time I do a lecture, and I'll do a consultation, especially for women, you know, they'll go, oh, I love myself. And then they break down crying within 30 minutes. I don't even know what that is. Well, of course you don't. Because guess what? Women have been programmed to suffer more than their children, more than their husband. And every time somebody suffers, you have to suffer just as much or more, or you're not a real woman. And then by the time you're 40, 50 years old, you're just a shell. And that's the truth. Okay? And men, they're so numbed out. Jesus. Seriously, I don't even know where they are. They don't show up at all. Men don't show up at all. You guys did show up. I get it. But I'm talking about the majority of men don't show up. They do not show up. And understand something. Silence, okay, is dangerous. It's dangerous. Men don't talk. They don't feel. Okay? They don't talk to their women. They don't feel. You know, they don't speak their mind. They just lock it all in. Okay? And where are the men? And you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. You know, I tell every couple that comes to me for personal treatment and training, we do a lot of couple work, and I say, look, your job starts when you get home. When you get home, when you open up that door, that's when your job starts. That's your job there. And it's not that way. Men don't protect the house. You know, we'll talk to them and they'll go, oh my God, no, the Wi-Fi's staying on all night. Why? Well, because I said it is. Really. You're radiating every cell. If anybody in the family is sick or has cancer, they're going to die. You know, just because everybody does something, you just don't do it. I'm not angry at anybody, am I, honey? No. Because guess what? Planet Earth is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. But it's not for most of you. Because you bought into a personality that's not yours. It's too bad when you don't have value, eh? I'm the most valuable thing that I know. If I don't unconditionally love myself, how am I going to teach that to my children? I want you to just close your eyes for a second. And I want you to think about this. How much does your husband fill up your heart? How much does your wife fill up your heart? How much does your children fill up your heart? How much does the dog fill up your heart? How much does your neighbors, your friends fill up your heart? You don't let anybody in there. That's your job. You should be filling up your own heart, because guess what? Most of you aren't even filling up your heart 10%. So that means you have a 90% of being hurt every day. How are we doing? We are spirit beings. We are emotional beings. And if you are not filling up your heart every day, yourself first and foremost, I can tell you right now, you are disrespecting your family and your loved ones. And understand something. And this is why, guess what? We get married, we get together with someone, and guess what happens, okay? We are just like rainbows and puppy dog tails and fireworks, and that's over in 12 months. And then we got to get back to work. You fill each other's heart, and that's the problem. That's the problem. You know, people don't get it. You don't get it. How fast can you let yourself off the hook? For everything. Everything. You have to let yourself off the hook for everything. Oh my God, I couldn't do that. I'd go to hell. Oh, really? Really? Let me tell you something. We're going to get off the topic, but I want you to think about this. If you were to totally never have to forgive another person, you just observed, you never judged, what would your life be like? What would it be like if you never walked around with any guilt? And then most of you are going, oh, well, God, I'd be a sinner. I'd probably be killing people and doing really bad things. Yeah, what's wrong with you? How do you even think that stuff? If you had unconditional love for yourself, you had unconditional love for everybody else on this planet. That's how we end this whole thing. That's how we end it. We don't end this thing by going to war. And we don't end this thing by going to war with ourselves, because guess what? The people that you hate, that are doing the things that you hate, you take it out on your family. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You can't have hate in your heart without not hurting your family. I treat my family with respect. No, you don't. You cannot focus on the government medical system or any of these systems. They're not going away. They're not broken. They're not broken. The government is not broken. You need to get this. This was set up 150,000 years ago. You have some idea that this just happened. This is the 6th extinction of this planet. Why don't you do some homework? And guess what? The planet never dies. It burps, farts a little bit. But guess what? Even the human race doesn't totally wipe itself out. You do know that, right? They make that shit up. Okay? What's going to happen is in the next 7 to 10 years, 30% to 40% of the population will be gone without war. Without war. Because you're already at war with yourself. Why don't you take a look at the majority of the population? Are they the walking dead? Seriously? Take a look at the health of people. The dark circles under their eyes. That's their liver backed up. The bags under their eyes is not because they didn't get sleep last night. It's because it's a kidney problem and they're dehydrated. They're not even watering themselves because they hate this plant. Okay? And then look at the pale faces. I went into the elevator. Remember that little baby we saw? Good God. Anemic. And I look at the mother. Anemic. Right? Well, of course. They don't eat anything with any life in it. They don't do anything with any life in it. Everything that you do, you should be searching life first. Life first. We walked for an hour and a half trying to find a salad. How did you guys even survive so far? Let me tell you something. Is there a God? Yes. Has the God ever judged you? Never. They made that shit up. So you're going to tell me that which created the whole universe is there thinking about you right now, whether you've been good or bad. My father was a born-again Christian pastor, and I was always scared crapless because I didn't know what I needed to do to get in heaven. And he could never tell me. So I just said, screw it, have some fun. And I did. I got in trouble too, a lot. I'm still getting in trouble. But I'm just trying to tell you something, that everything you know is not true. If you were to just stay in the present moment and own it and say, what can I do for this beautiful soul, this beautiful spirit? What can I do to just caress myself and let myself know that I love myself? At every given moment, your life would be unbelievable. You'd have everything you want. There's enough of everything down here. We could have 100 billion people right now living on this planet, and we wouldn't bump into each other if we cared. You know what they do? Do you know why they want you in cities? They want you in cities so you think that there's no room on the planet. Geez, you know what? You can drive for almost 2.5 days in Canada and not see anybody. There's so much room everywhere. It's all, you guys, just stop buying into their story. Not one drop of water has ever left the planet, okay? You know, I'm probably drinking his urine. Seriously. You need to understand something. Everything is recyclable. There's no lack of water. That's bullshit. There's no lack of air. There's no lack of anything. It's all just a lie. If you just never believed anything you ever heard again from the government, you would just be setting yourself free. And that means you'd have to stop listening to your family and the neighbors and everybody else that watches the news or spreads all this manure. We actually don't believe anything, do we, honey? Except unconditional love. And there is no bad weather. How you doing? Well, it's raining today. Oh, really? Wow. You gonna off yourself? Yeah, probably. Seriously? Nobody will ever program me to ever say anything negative or to be negative. I am an infinite light, energy, electrical, magnetic being, and I will live forever. And you know what? My energy is in this body and it's around this body, and I have what's called a field. You should be able to feel my field, because the love I feel for you is just making my field just. I'm not kidding. If you could see it. I don't care what you've done, what you think you've done. You're forgiven for everything. Everything. Now, there's not going to be any religion that's going to let you off the hook. You need to start your own and let yourself off the hook. You need to let yourself off the hook for everything. Watch how your day goes. Watch how you have triple the energy. Watch how, guess what? When your kid walks up to you, you're just so full of love and joy that it's like, not now, I'm busy. Busy what? Busy in here. Busy dealing with the demons that they put there. I am so over this. You have no idea. And let me tell you something. It's one thing going, I'm so over this, but don't tell anyone. Look what I just did. I'm over this. There is no authority over me. There's no authority over you. You know what? Even if they do the stuff that they do, it's how you react to it. It's your emotional attachment. I can prove every illness, whether it's arthritis, whether it's acne, whether it's infertility, whether it's a tumor, whether it's calcification, whether it's scar tissue, whether it's brain problems. It's all your personality. You're creating it. And listen, anybody that has been diagnosed with a disease, there isn't any diseases. There's just symptoms. And you know as well as I do, it started off as something small, and now it's something big, and it's called a chronic illness. They're all chronic illness. Because why? Because you went to emergency care for health care. You actually went to a natural health practitioner that doesn't know what he's talking about. Or she. They don't. Most of them don't. Even the natural ones don't know what they're talking about. You remember, we've all been poisoned, right? One morning I just woke up and I said, I don't believe shit. And then guess what? No more did I put myself down and I said, I will be the greatest lecturer. I will be the greatest healer. And then I will teach everyone how to be the greatest lecturer and the greatest healers. And everybody will find their authentic self, and we will become BraveHearts again. And that is the God's truth, and you can all have it. If you were to just swallow my BS, my belief system, if you were to swallow and take it in and own it, but you will never be able to. None of you, maybe one of you, maybe only two of you will be able to pull this off, because you will not be allowed to go home and unconditionally love yourself, because you will be called a selfish prick, because everybody's a walking nipple. And let me tell you something, and this is the God's truth. This is the truth. I teach my children, don't I? You love yourself. And understand, I am there for my kids for 100%. But it doesn't matter what goes on in the world. I don't lose my shit, do I? Okay? Or we're coming for you, Darrell. We're taking you down, Darrell. Okay, all right. You do that. You don't mind if I go to bed and get a good night's sleep to you and get ready for it. Why can't you honor and respect yourself? Because you went to school. Because your parents didn't know how to do it for themselves. And let's stop the crap, okay? Let's just stop the crap. Because you know what everybody's doing now? They're going back to find out who hurt them. And we're going to work it all out. Well, if they're dead, just talk to them and forgive them. Why don't you just stay in the present moment here and write a new story right now? A hero story and not a victim story. Why don't you just do that? Why don't you just give that a shot? Give it a shot that you're better already. Give it a shot that you're strong. Stop telling the story. Hey, you know what? Go ahead. What's your story? You all have it. Okay? Well, when I was born, my head caved in. They didn't think I'd live. Well, guess what? It still caved in. What a bunch of crap. That's what my parents told me. And then I told everybody that. I never tell the story again, you know? And do you ever notice the people, right? They'll come up and they'll tell you every drug they've been on, every surgery they've had. They can give you the dates, and you're going, yeah, you're psycho. You are psycho. And you are never going to get well because you've put yourself in hell. Do you know that if something happened to you and it was a trauma drama, okay? It was a trauma drama, and you actually retell that story. Every time you retell the story, you dump the same hormones, the same chemicals, and your body goes through the same terror. And that's the only psycho thing, is right there. And there is no, I already told you, there's no such thing as depression. You do know that, right? There's no such thing as depression. There's only such thing as anxiety, and then you burn your brain, which is just a computer. You do know your brain is just a computer, right? How many people know that the greatest amount of information is here, all around you? You know that field that I'm talking about? Well, in that field, you can access any information that you want. You don't access the information up here. This is a chemist. It dumps hormones and chemicals dependent on your personality and how you react to things. Did you know that? You'll either dump the dose, which is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, which is the love drugs, or you'll dump hack, right? I'm trying to get a hairball up. Histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, and that's what you all dump for 3 years. And then you wonder why you blew up with your weight, or now you can't gain weight, or now you've got some kind of chronic illness. How many opportunities do you miss when you're scared, sick, and tired? Why? Well, that's why I'm not going to miss any opportunities. And the reality is guess what? Anything that I have, I've never taken from you, or you. Everything that you deserved is still over there. Because there's enough for everybody. There always has been enough for everyone. But you believe there's not enough for everyone because that's how you live. You live like that. And the only reason why you live like that is because you have very little value or low value and you don't even know it. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a programmed one. You don't believe me? Come on, you can put your pants on in the dark. You can roll over and kiss your partner in the dark. You know exactly where the lips are. You do, how much do you do on autopilot? 98% of everything you do is autopilot. Okay, so if I'm right, and 98% of everything I do it on autopilot, Just think, if I created beliefs in my subconscious, because your subconscious is 90% of your brain, your conscious mind is only 10%. You're only in the conscious mind 2% of the day. Why? Because you're not connected to your breath. If you are breathing lion heart breath 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, and had a slight smile, you're always in the present moment. Did you know that? You're always in the present moment. I don't miss anything. If I can get you to worry about something, what does a good mother do? Worry. And what does a good father do? Worry about making enough money. So what do you do all your life? You worry about making money, okay, and you worry about the family. Oh, isn't that nice? I don't worry about shit. Do I? I don't. Now, what if, because this is just a computer, when you buy a computer, does it do anything? No, you got to put what into it? Programs. Oh, but wait a minute, you didn't. You were programmed by mommy and daddy. And you know damn well that when mommy was pregnant, daddy was stressed out and so was mommy. Well, why do you think the umbilical cord was wrapped around your neck 3 times? You were going to hang yourself. Why do you think your feet were on either side of the vagina? Because you said, no hell, I'm not going out there. I'm staying here. You think I'm kidding? You're talking about a high vibrational being that says, forget this crap. And guess what? Instead of it being a womb, it was made into a tomb because you went to school. And you got ruled. And you got fooled. So anyways, it's just a computer. You didn't put the programs in. You actually think that your personality is your personality. Do you actually believe that you created this personality that you have right now?
No, I think it's a function of where I've been and what I've done.
A function of where he's been and what he's done. No, it's a function of who did what to him. It's what was done to you. Good luck with that. I can tell you right now that 90% of your personality you had nothing to do with. If you ask anybody, are you happy? No. Would you like to make some changes? Absolutely. But you never will unless you're going to change your personality. Do you know how to change your personality? No, because you've been trying.
Yeah.
No. The only time that you've changed your personality, and let me tell you, I'm not trying to pick on you. This is about everybody. When you're down on your knees begging God, please, or when you were sick and thought you were going to lose your life, or when somebody else was going to lose their life. Because it's not easy to change your personality because you didn't know that this was just a computer. You didn't know that you had to what? You had to erase and replace. You didn't know that to have a new program, you were going to have to repeat it 10,000 times. And then you didn't even know how to do it because nobody else knows how to do it. And then when you go to try to bring up your vibration, your family's going to pull it right back down. Why? Why? You watch. Honey, you know what? I think I'd like to go on that weight loss diet. Oh, yeah, go right ahead there. Yeah, go right ahead. Oh, wow, you're starting to lose weight, honey. Wait till she gets her sexy on. He will order a triple cheese pizza. You think I'm kidding? Let me tell you something. We do not want the best for each other when we don't know how to get the best for ourselves. And that's the truth. You don't want anybody leaving you. You want everybody, you want to stay comfortable in your suffering and keep your family there too. And you don't even know you're doing it because your subconscious rules you. Tell me I'm wrong. And I'm going to tell you something right now, whether you believe this or not. This is what I want to do. I want to get to a point where I can teach my courses to the whole world because that will unravel everything. Okay, there's a few people that took my courses here. Do you think that if somebody came and took my course, that they would leave different? What do you think? Huh? Would they leave different? By the 3rd, 4th day, it's over. You'll never see life differently. You'll see life differently forever. And this isn't for me trying to talk you into my courses because like, whoa, dude, no, too many. The reality is this. is that, guess what? Until you're ready to crack your coconut and understand that you are not your authentic self, okay? Because you are a high vibrational being. And you know what? You don't need to feel bliss for 10 seconds. You can feel bliss is anytime you want. When you are the master of your emotions, because guess what? Imagination is everything. You know what? You were allowed to have imagination until you were in grade 1. Yes or no? It got living shit kicked right out of it. Okay? Worst thing you can do is go have a teacher from schools. They're just terrible, 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 terrible. You know, I'm going to tell you something right now. If all we did with our children from now on is just get them to just read, write, and do basic math, okay? And then ask them what their passion and purpose is, and if it changes 20 times, who cares? What a world this would be. What a world this would be. You know damn well you didn't learn anything in school. And you know right now that the math they learned, they can't even get change properly. Okay? You know that. Oh, let me get my calculator. So the reality is that we know that we've been undermined, and it's going to keep going like this, but you don't need to. You don't need to. What have you always wanted to be? What was your dream? What was your passion? What was your purpose? Why did you give it up? Go dust it off and go find it. And then gift the world. I'm either going to rock every moment or I'm just going to rocket ship off. That's it. That's it. Because I don't believe in the crap that you do. And I don't say you believe in a whole bunch of crap. I just say it's crap if it makes you feel crappy, right? I feel crappy. Well, yeah, because you have crappy beliefs. When you have crappy beliefs, you'll eat crap. When you have crappy beliefs, you'll listen to crap. And you'll let people treat you like crap. Yes or no? Oh, yeah. I don't know why, but I keep going into the same relationship. Yeah, because you didn't change your personality. Okay? You don't even know it, but your subconscious is wanting to be fed. You do know that, right? All your prominent dominant beliefs need to be fed. My prominent dominant beliefs need to be fed. What's that? You're a great lecturer. You're a great teacher. You're going to change the world. That needs to be fed now. Why do you think I'm traveling? I've been traveling for 7 months, eh, Lori? 7 months. And guess what? Most people go, oh my God, I'm so exhausted from traveling. No, I just love meeting all of you. I just want to touch your heart. And I want you to know that guess what? That real authentic you, if you could just hug it and feel it, you'll never give it up again. You'll never give it up again. And nobody will ever make you do it again. And if anybody ever talks to you and tries to make you feel bad or you're not good enough, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. There's no other way to say it. And it's not because they're full of poo-poo. That doesn't have the same effect. They're full of shit. And that's it. You know what? You don't let anybody disrespect you, whether it's your husband, your wife, your children. It doesn't happen. You know what, honey? I really love you. But guess what? This relationship is not going on like this anymore because there's a funny thing going on, and I'm loving myself more than you're loving me. It's not going to work, baby. It's not going to work. And I'm not doing it. You know, I'm not putting up with any compromised love. I'm not putting up with a compromised job. I'm not putting up with compromised food. I'm not putting up with compromised water. And guess what? I could give a crap about the government. Oh, the government. Who cares? We don't need them. We don't need them. But guess what? Victims need the government, right? Yes or no? Okay. Victims need the medical system. And guess what? I'm glad they're there right now because there's so many of them. Victims. And I'm not putting anybody down. But the reality is there's a lot of people that need those drugs or they would have killed themselves already. Because they were terrorized so bad that psychologically they're screwed up. And it's because they feel so bad about themselves that they're unworthy to live. And at least when they do the drugs, it numbs them out. And maybe they'll learn how to love themselves. I don't know. But how do we all hear this? Oh my God, he had to go on the drugs. He had to go on the drugs. And now he's trying to get off the drugs. Jesus Christ. You know what? He felt sorry for himself. She felt sorry for themselves. And they got, what did they get? They had so much anxiety, they got depressed. Would I put up with that? Would I put up with that? I wouldn't put up with that. And the world will put up with it. The world loves it. They see you limping. Oh my God. Who here is limping right now because their hip hurts or their low back? Well, that's such crap. You know, that's such easy to fix. You do know, and when I say this is the God's truth. Everybody that takes my course gives a money-back guarantee that the first treatment, we're going to do more for you than all the other treatments combined, and we'll give you your money back. We have a guarantee that you're not going to go to surgery. I don't give a crap what it is, whether it's heart disease or whether it's stenosis of the spine or you're bone on bone. What a bunch of crap. You're not bone on bone. You calcified yourself. Okay, by pulling so much calcium out of your bones because you were so acidic, you know? And just know this, the more calcium you pull out, the more closer you are to what they call cancer, which is stage 4 inflammation. Yeah. You know it, you terrorized yourself 24/7. Do you terrorize yourself still? No. So guess what? Diagnosis is over, isn't it? That's it. You'll never be sick again. You're only sick because you have sick beliefs. Say it out loud with me. You're only sick because you have sick beliefs. Go.
You're only sick because you have sick beliefs.
You're healthy because you have healthy beliefs.
You're healthy because you have healthy beliefs.
And guess what? You need to know this. The finance system is never going to go away because that's how they hold us captive more than anything else. Because we don't need finances. I want you just to close your eyes and think about this. There's enough food, there's enough water. We could build buildings. Everybody could have what they wanted on this planet. I'm telling you, they could. They made that shit up. We don't need finances. We didn't need any of this. Okay? And we don't need to be in competition with each other anymore. We need to come together and work with each other. Forget the competition. It's over. They need you to be in competition. Okay? All right? You know, I tell this story all the time. When my father was preaching, you know, he said, you know what? Everybody said to the whole congregation, I need everyone to be on their guard. And I'm going, okay, what's this? And he goes, yes, there's something evil coming from the east. Okay, wow, there's something evil coming from the east. Yes, the East Indians are sneaking in their religion through yoga. And I go, and I'm sitting there. I remember it. I was sitting in the middle pew, about 4 pews back. In the middle, I can remember it was a sunny day, and I went, I hate yoga. I didn't even know what it was. But I hated yoga. You see how well we can be programmed? See, you better watch out who you're trusting. And I say trust no one. I say love everyone. And those that you have a hard time loving, focus on the ones that you have an easy time loving. And focus on the things that you've always wanted in your life. And put massive personal action in. And stop talking about what you can't have. Stop talking about the sicknesses you have. And how you're suffering all the time. Because you'll always suffer. You know, we talk about how we know things. Don't repeat anything that you don't want to become. Okay? Maybe you should just shut up. That's it. Shut up. Maybe I should shut up. Just know that I want you all to set yourself free. They have become your jailers because you believe they're bullshit. Look I just want you to know that I'm one of you. We are low vibrational beings in the universe. And you are not going to move on to the next level if you vibrate down here. I need you to understand that we are low vibrational beings because we believe in what they tell us. We're not. We're not sinners. We're not losers. We're not failures. You have to repeat something 10,000 times before you perfect it. And you all know that you were in survival mode throughout your life. Why were you in survival mode? You weren't a bad person. I was in survival mode. I'm not going to hold any guilt because I really felt my life was being threatened. When I stole money from my mother, I felt that they were cutting me off. When I stole from the stores, I felt like I couldn't have it because I felt so unworthy and I felt stupid and I would never have things. So if I can't have things, I got to steal them. I've done everything. Think about it. I've done it when I was younger. No, seriously. Okay? You probably shouldn't even be in this room with me. Oh, yeah. God, please forgive me. Please. Are you like out of your skull? Let me tell you something. I've always done the best I could. And when I was stealing and when I was lying, when I was cheating, I was in survival mode. And that's what we do until we find our authentic selves. Nobody's going to tell me I'm a sinner. Forget it. You can take that stuff and take it where the light doesn't shine. And why don't you look up in the dictionary because all the truth is there. Sinner. Missing the mark. Whoa, dude. I better do it until I perfect it. No, the reality is that everybody, how much can you beat up on yourself? Too much, yeah. See, guess what? If the government all of a sudden just woke up and the psycho elites woke up and the medical system woke up, you know that most people would still kill themselves. Not most, at least 30% are going to kill themselves. And the whole game could have changed today and we'd be out there trying to stop people from killing themselves because everybody's running a program and they don't even know it. Did you know you were killing yourself? Did you know you were killing yourself? Yeah. But guess what? You're going to go do it again unless you find happy. Unless you wake up and you find happy and you say, I'm a genius and I got this. Hey, how far does moping get you? Yeah. Guess what? As soon as you smile, does anybody know as soon as you smile, you jack the pH up in your blood instantaneously at the speed of light? That's science. Oh, but you didn't know that. Really? When you smiled, you had more energy, right? But guess what? I want everybody to smile right now. Everybody smile. Keep smiling. Uh-huh. See, he's not smiling. He's got a grin. So he's saying, F you, Darrell. That's good. Okay. And the reality is he's going, I don't have anything to smile. I wrecked my crotch. Okay, all right, got it. The reality is this, guess what? If you need a reason to smile, they own you for the rest of your life. If you need a reason to smile, they own you for the rest of your life. And understand something, when you smile, you're dumping the most powerful healing drugs 24/7. Your mind, okay, do you know where they get all their drug combinations from? Except theirs are toxic? By studying the brain. The brain makes every medicinal medicine that you need for any type of symptom that you have. Did you get that? That's why your brain is a chemist and it's a computer. That's all it is. It's nothing else. And guess what? Your imagination, right? Your imagination, the image of me, like there's some people going, oh, I really like him. And other people are going, at the break time, I'm out of here. Okay, and the reality is have a great night because you're not ready for me. And maybe you will never be ready for me because I'm not your cup of tea. So don't be upset when people don't groove with you. You do know that people only like you because it matches their beliefs. And you do know that I love people that I don't match their beliefs because they have something to teach me. I don't look for people that they match my beliefs because the learning stops. So image creates a thought. Yes or no? Okay. So have a bad image of me. He creates a bad thought. And then that bad thought goes what? To a bad emotion. That bad emotion creates a bad frequency. Oh, that bad frequency just released bad chemicals and hormones into your body. And guess what? All because you didn't like me. And guess what? Too bad. You deserve it. Because you need to go around and you need to focus on what you do like. So if I'm creating bad, a bad image that created a bad thought, that created a bad emotion, that created a bad frequency that dump bad hormones and chemicals, you should leave right now and go find where you're going to be happy. You see? So why do you stay in relationships where you're totally miserable? And then you go to visit a whole bunch of doctors, and hopefully they'll give you some drugs so that you never have to face the fact that you are self-loathing and that you are just trying to kill yourself, because that's what you're doing. I hope you get this. And you've been programmed to do that. And it happened in the womb. Because your parents did that. They all did it. Tell me, come on. Oh no, my parents, you know, they loved each other and they loved themselves first and foremost. No, that's not true. There's only 1 out of 10,000 people that have unconditional love for themselves on this planet. Do you know that if it were 2%, that we would take the planet back? 2%. 2% of the population, if they had unconditional love, the game would be over. And this game is like every other game, okay? It has rules. And in this game, we are emotional beings. Now, is it true that we're emotional beings? Okay, well, if we're emotional beings, which emotion should we have?
Happy.
Unconditional love. It's the highest vibration on the planet. It heals everything. It gets you everything. You know, the only reason why you don't have the things that you feel you deserve is because you don't have beliefs that you deserve them. It's the craziest world we live in, isn't it? So, you know, when I was growing up, and then when I went to college, right, because I was programmed that way, I wanted to see how many women I could sleep with. Yeah, I never had a bad feeling at all. Not once. No, but, you know, I'm just looking back. And then the reality is that if a girl slept with more than 2 guys in a month, what was she? A slut. So the reality is, you don't get this, but 5,000 years ago, the church and the government came together and said, we are going to destroy, because 5,000 years ago, the world was running on feminine power. And it didn't mean that the women ruled the world. It meant that men still had their feminine, and they were able to show their feelings. They were able to talk. You could have great relationships between a man and a woman. And ever since then, there isn't. Men are at war with men and women. Husband and wives are at war with themselves all the time, with each other, all the time. You know, I've probably seen about 2 relationships in the last 20 years that I would call worth keeping. The rest were just hanging in there. And that's the truth. And the reality is there's no blame on anyone. There's no blame game. Because just think, if you had unconditional love for yourself and you met somebody with unconditional love that, guess what, never made you feel guilty. Right? 2 spirit beings coming together, you would just win the game, wouldn't you? How about 2 low vibrational pieces of meat coming together? Well, because that's how we're taught, is that women are a piece of meat. You see, they've done such a great job, haven't they? Yeah. Well, that's over now. That's over. It's over. So that's my little lecture for tonight. Now I'd like to just bring the topic down, because all I like to do is just crack your coconut a little bit, to let you just take a look at your life. Remember something. Stop making people responsible. Okay? Start taking responsibility for your own life, your own breath. Okay? Seriously. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. You got to stop torturing yourself and your family. They're laughing their asses off at us. And you got to understand something. Don't hate the people high up in government. You can't touch them. You know, you go, they'll go to jail. God will get them. What is wrong with you guys? They don't go to jail. And you'll never know if God is going to get them, because guess what? What I see is the people that you hate are usually healthier than you. You silly little goose, you. It doesn't work like that. You know, it doesn't work like that down here. Your beliefs are everything. Your emotions are everything. Look, did you ever notice something? What do we do? And then what do the politicians do? Well, you know, we'll look into that, and I'll have my office get back to you. All they know is that if they stay calm and you lose your stuff, even if you're telling the truth and they're lying right on TV, it doesn't matter. Whoever stayed cool gets to rule. And you keep losing your shit. Oh, wait a minute. You keep losing your shit. All of it. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time. I think it's time that we really, truly learned how to love and care for ourselves. How special are you? What are you worth? And a lot of you are going to go, I don't feel like I'm worth anything. And I'm going to go, thanks for your honesty, but now we've got to get to work. We got to go to brainwash boot camp. You think I'm kidding? No. No, we need to go to brainwash boot camp, where we need to go in and brainwash you, okay, that you are the most beautiful, intelligent, and you need to come first before everything. What, before my children? Absolutely. Because guess what? When they grow up, they're going to go, my mother gave me the best gift. What was that? That I come first. Oh, wow, really? Isn't that great? Because if you came first, you wouldn't be on drugs, would you? You wouldn't be drinking alcohol, would you? You wouldn't be pulling your pants down trying to see if you could get filled up with something, would you? And that's the truth. That's the truth. Huh? Are you getting your memory back? Is this a memory thing? Oh, I can tell. Look at the color. Wow. Don't rush the flush. There it is, baby. Bring it on. Give it yeah, that's it. Give it the shake. Okay. Okay. We'll call her Prancer. All right. Yeah. Okay, so just so we can change the mood, let's just take a 5-minute pee break. We're going to come back, and then I'd like to answer some questions up here for those people who would like to talk about their situation, and then we'll do some work on the floor, okay? So let's take a 5-minute break, stretch a little bit, okay? All right? Thank you. Okay, I don't know what to do. Should I end them or? Huh? I'm gonna end you guys, and if you want to come back, or maybe you want to go to bed, I don't know. But have a beautiful night.